Welcome everybody to another rousing round of Roseburg speakers and storytellers. Today, we will be celebrating 17 years as a Toastmaster club. Mute yourself when you're not speaking, please, and if at all possible, stay on camera because it's much more engaging if we can see your beautiful faces while we are talking. At this point, I will turn it over to our lovely and talented president, Yasmin.
Thank you so much, Sergeant of Farm. Welcoming everyone to this very special meeting. Yay! We turned 17 today. Today is the 17th anniversary of Roseburg Speakers and Storytellers. I'm very thankful to the club for giving me an opportunity to be the president and sort of inviting you all on this very special day. I thank you all. I see we have some guests joining in. They are guests, but are familiar faces, and we consider them as part of RSS family. Akib, welcome. Varun, you are not new to us. Welcome. I see we have Mohammed Abdul Rahman joining in. Mohammed, welcome. And I would like to equally welcome all our members. It's always important. RSS is for the members. I wish we will have more members joining in. Let's hope. And it's indeed a very special day because we have the Toastmaster of the day, Kevin, who is very, very special to Roseburg speakers and storytellers, given that he is one of the foundational member of the club and belongs and knows the history of the club so much more than all of us. So it's an absolute pleasure to invite Kevin and take forward the meeting as Toastmaster of the day. So please welcome Kevin. Kevin, the floor is yours.
Thank you, Madam President Yasmin. It's an honor to be the Toastmaster of the day. Welcome, Toastmasters. I would like to share with you my experience with the history of Roseburg Storytellers. This is the 17th anniversary. It started 17 years ago as the Feather Tongues at the Seven Feathers Casino and Hotel Resort in Oregon. Now, when it started, I know where I was at. I'm with the National Guard, and at the time, I don't know if anybody remembered Hurricane Katrina over in New Orleans. So I deployed over there at the time when Feather Tongue started. So I was a long way from here when the club took off, when it started. I didn't start the club until about probably 10 years later, when Michelle invited me to a Toastmaster event, and I had no idea what it was all about until I actually walked into the conference room that day, and the meeting started, and already I just felt the positive energy. It was so infectious, and it was so thick you could cut it with a butter knife. And I really enjoyed just getting up and participating in the table topics when I was asked. And I just had this enjoyment about speaking in public, and I wanted to do a better job of it. So that's kind of how I got started with the Roseburg Storytellers. But at the time, it was the Feather Tongues. So it's been 7 years, and I've enjoyed it ever since. And I feel like I've come a long ways. I've learned a lot about myself. I've grown. I've always wanted to be an instructor. I'm an EMT, and I enjoy being an instructor. And I feel that the Toastmaster Club has really kind of helped me gain the discipline and training that I need to be a good speaker. So if it wasn't for Feather Tongues, and if it wasn't for the Roseburg Storytellers, I don't know where I'd be. I'd be kind of still trying to find my way in the world of communication. So I'm so happy to be a part of this Roseburg Storytellers. And I actually even have the original banner. I should have displayed it right now. I have the banner. It's just sit there in my closet of the old the Feather Tongues banner. I should show it to you, but I don't think we have time today. But anyhow, I'd like to go ahead and share. That's my eulogy. I'd like to go ahead and start with introducing our role players for today. So it's the part of being a Toastmasters. We facilitate the meeting and we make sure that it's run on time. So let's go ahead and start out. It's with the introductions. So we have the timer do we have our timer out there? I'd like to introduce our timer. So Tiger, are you going to go ahead? You're going to go ahead and play the timer today. Can you go ahead and share with us the function of that of a timer?
Thank you, Mr. Toastmaster today. Stephen, did you want to be our timer? Or do you want me to go ahead and jump in?
I see Stephen is joining in, Toastmaster of the day. So if you can perhaps move on to the next role and come to timer's role again. He has just joined in. Stephen is coming.
Stephen, did you want a time?
It's Stephen. Tiger, we have Stephen and Stefan. So it's Stefan who is going to be the timer for today.
Okay. Stefan, did you want to be the timer or would you like me to go ahead?
Yeah, I think he asked for some background. I sent him some pictures. Hey, Stephen, are you on the line? Maybe I think Yasmin is right.
Yes, I'm online. Yeah. Yes, I'm online.
Can you introduce the time role to us?
Yes, no problem.
Stephen?
Yes, hey, that's me. Can you
Hi.
hear me?
Yes, we can hear you. Please go ahead and explain your role as timer for today.
Yes, so yeah, I will act as a timer for today. It's my role, timer. Okay, thank you. Hello, back to you, Yasmin.
Yeah, back
Thank
to you.
you. Okay, thank you, Stephen. Okay, so continuing on now, of course, it's very effective with these meetings that we have a word of the day, and we usually get that word of the day from our grammarian. So I'd like to introduce our grammarian, whoever that will be, to provide us the word of the day and provide us a brief job description or role description of what that grammarian does. So do we have a grammarian?
Yes, I am the grammarian, and today the word of the day today is commemoration. I will put it in the chat in a minute, and that means something that is done to remember officially and give respect to a great person or event. A set of the example in a sentence is a set of stamps has been commissioned in commemoration of Independence Day. That's the example in a sentence. So please use this commemoration in our speech today. And another job that I will do, I will also take note on beautiful language that you use. In case, the third one, in case there is a grammatical error or pronunciation mistake, I will point that out too. Thank you, Toastmaster of the day and fellow Toastmaster. Over to you, Kevin.
Thank you very much, Ayu. Thank you for volunteering. Commemoration, that's a very appropriate word for today's theme because we are celebrating our anniversary. And I'm going to go ahead and just throw out that word. Since I still have the banner, it's a beautiful banner that commemorates the beginnings of our club when it was Feather Tongues, and it's the original banner that we had. I was able to claim that banner from my job, my company. It was just sitting in the conference room collecting dust, and I wanted to keep the banner. I wanted to keep the club going to represent our club. So they were able to give it to me without any argument or any debate. So I'm happy to say that I have a piece of history and I've a few other documents that commemorate the beginning of Feather Tongues, which is now our Roseburg Storytellers Club. So I'm sorry for moving on. Let's go ahead. it's very important during a meeting and during speeches that we have somebody that keeps track of the ahs and the ums, the filler words, and that'd be our ah counter. So I'd like to go ahead and introduce our ah counter, who it's going to be. Do we have a volunteer for who the ah counter is going to be? Does somebody want to join, participate as the ah counter? Does anybody want to keep track of the filler words, the crutch words?
We had IU on the agenda as both grammarian and AMA counter.
Oh, okay, okay, IU. So IU, you're going to go ahead and take over, okay, and keep track of the ahs. Okay. So with that being said, we'll go ahead and I believe that takes care of all the roles. Oh, but I'm sorry, the general evaluator is going to be Mary. And Mary, can you go ahead and just give us a real brief description and function of what the role is as a grammarian?
Yes, Toastmaster today. I'll be happy to do that. I will lead the evaluation portion of our meeting and ask for each of the reports from the evaluator, the counter, grammarian, and timer. And then I will give a summary evaluation of how the meeting went, things that we did well and things that we can improve on. To help commemorate this special day, be listening for that special word of the day, commemoration, or any form of. That's my role as general evaluator. Back to you, Toastmaster of the day.
Thank you, Mary. That was a wonderful introduction and a wonderful brief job description of what the grammarian does. So now beginning with the meeting's first and very most important component. There's three components in a meeting. There's the giving the speeches, there's the table topics and impromptu speaking, and then there's the evaluation. So we'll begin right away with the speech. So I'd like to introduce our very first speaker of the day and our only speaker for today. That will be Deja. She will be providing with us a speech, a story on, the theme is going to be a passion for learning. That's a wonderful theme, a passion for learning, because it really, it does feel good, and it's to learn, to learn new things about who we are. And so the title is going to be Calling Coffee. So with all that being said, I'd like to introduce Deja as our speaker for the speech is Calling Coffee. Deja, it's all yours.
Thank you, Kevin, our Toastmaster of the day. Yum. Greetings, RSS. Today I would like to talk to you about coffee. I could ask you to raise a hand if you have Starbucks in your country, but I think it's more appropriate to ask you to raise a hand if you don't. Anybody? Nope, I don't see anybody. I worked at Starbucks for 5 years, from my senior year of high school through college until the year after I graduated college. I loved working there. I got to try so many different ways of drinking coffee, coffee brewed in different ways, consumed in different ways, with different strengths and sourced from different origins. I learned that I liked bold coffee and that I did not care for Latin American coffee, preferring coffee from Asia and Africa. As you can see, I have a passion for learning, and I'd like to share that passion with you today. Not all coffee is brewed in the same way. Different brewing styles can cause changes in flavors and strength of the drink. Here are just a few brewing styles that you can experience. Drip brew. Roasted coffee beans are ground and added to a brew basket and placed in an automatic coffee machine. Gravity is used to pass water through the grounds, resulting in a traditional cup of coffee. Drip, drip, drip. Pour over. This brewing style is achieved by pouring boiling water slowly through coffee grounds as they sit in a filter basket. The coffee then drips into a single cup, resulting in a potent brew. Cold brew. For cold brew, coarsely ground coffee is placed in room temperature water and allowed to steep, like tea, for an extended period of time, This results in a less bitter, highly caffeinated brew. An espresso. To achieve an espresso brew, you'll need an espresso machine. These machines pass pressurized hot water through a filter containing dark roasted, finely ground coffee beans. The force of the water produces a highly concentrated coffee shot. This is the method most commonly used for the base of coffee drinks. And ristretto. Brewed in a similar method to the espresso, pressurized water is passed through the coffee grounds. However, you would use half the amount of water. That shorter brewing cycle creates a more concentrated and darker shot of espresso. I have a passion for learning and a passion for experiencing. I hope one day I will be lucky enough to experience coffee in your country. Maybe even sit down with you to share a cup of coffee and commemorate our meeting. I'd love to know how you like to drink your coffee. Thank you. Back to you, Kevin.
Thank you very much, Deja. I'm sorry, Deja. That was a wonderful speech on coffee. Yes, it was making me think about coffee right now. I tell you how I love my coffee. I love it very thick. I like that coffee that's going to basically give me the boost of the day that I need, especially when I have to do a 12-hour shift. I don't know. I mean, the question she asked was, does anybody know if there's a Starbucks in your country? My question is, has anybody ever heard of green beans coffee? Green beans coffee? Does anybody know the green beans? I never knew anything about green beans coffee until I was in Iraq. And when I was in Iraq, we had a shop that's called Green Beans. And I tell you honestly, if it wasn't for that coffee shop, because it was so delicious, it made my time in Iraq much more pleasant because of that coffee shop. I went there every day and got my favorite caramelizer or caramel latte. It's delicious, blended or hot. So go ahead, moving on. So now we're going to go ahead and begin our next very important component of our meeting, which is the impromptu speaking session, the table topics, which in my opinion is the most challenging and the most fun because it really puts the speakers at the test. This is the kind of training that you need for when you go to a job interview. You know, you never know what you're asked. So this is a good opportunity to get the practice and the training in for impromptu questions. So with that being said, Yasmin is going to go ahead and grace us as the table topics master of the day. So I'm going to go ahead and turn it over to Yasmin. So Yasmin, it's all yours.
Thank you so much, Kevin. And yet again, welcome everyone. I'm very delighted to welcome the new people who have just joined in. And today is an exceptional day because it's the anniversary, the 17th anniversary of Roseburg Speakers and Storytellers. I am very delighted to run the table topics session today because I have designed the topics around to get to know more about your journey of Toastmasters. And what could be wonderful than the table topics session where it's the time for us to share and how we have had done it. So please feel free to volunteer if you want to take up first. I already see some hands raising. Okay, cool. Tiger, you have your hands raised, and Ilios, you have your hands raised. So you both are first on my list. Tiger, can I go with you as first table topic speaker today? I hope you raise your hand, Tiger. You raise your hand to be the table topic speaker, correct?
Oh.
Tiger? Okay, I see that. Okay,
Yes.
cool.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Can you hear me?
Yes, can hear you, Tiger. Our minds cross each other because I wanted to have this topic for you, Tiger, specifically, and I wanted to start it with this. So thank you for volunteering to be the first one. And here is my question for you, Tiger. Just for the timer to know, and anyone who is new to the Toastmaster, we will have a question posed to you in case you are the speaker. You can speak for 1 to 2 minutes, 1 being the minimum time limit, 1.5 mean the time when you have to wrap up, and 2 minutes being the time when you should start summarizing and closing. You will have a buffer of 30 seconds. So this is a set of information newcomers may find useful. Don't hesitate. It's a fun topic. We feel relaxed. We are all amongst friends. Tiger, this is a more curious question. In Toastmaster, we know that we are rising by lifting others. How has RSS contributed to your mission of being a coach? I repeat,
Thank you,
we
Ms. Table
are...
Topics Master. Thank you, Ms. Table Topics Master, and welcome all our guests and members, of course. I'm going to take this a little different. RSS began as a idea in the head of one Michelle Oberlin. Her and I and Kevin were it with feather tongues. That was it. That was our group. Michelle and I had already been online with several other groups, and she had the idea, let's take this club, change the name, and go online. And this was before COVID. So to say we were revolutionary, I would say that we were cutting edge. We were online, starting a brand new club in early 2020. Our first meeting, there was 8 people. Our second meeting, there was 12 or 13. And then COVID hit. And our meetings became 25, 30. We went from having 3 committed members to having 23 members in just a few months, with an assist from our friend COVID. That was a joke. We would have done well without COVID, but with COVID, because of everything online, we became literally an overnight success. And I tell this story all over because many people complain, especially here in District 7, about the fact that they had to go online and they were losing members. My attitude is adjust or die. And COVID has done that worldwide. Businesses have either died or thrived because of the pandemic. That is the way of the world. Adaptation is the way of the world. And here we are, several years later, we're still doing well. Everything's positive, and we have people here from multiple countries. This is a fantastic experience. And thank you, everybody, for being here. Back to you, Table Topics Master and President.
Thank you, Tiger. Loved it. I have to say, I agree with you in totality, because when COVID hit, I remember many of my friends struggling with how to use Zoom, or many of them did not even know about Zoom. And I was like, looks like I'm an experienced one, because I have been using Zoom for RSS meetings much prior than world would know that Zoom exists. So yes, definitely in that ways, we had a head forward and we were forward thinking, if we like to say it. Let's move next. We have Ilios with us, who is joining all the way from Indonesia.
Hello.
Hi, Ilios. And the excitement on his face is ever bright. Ilios, I have a question for you. We do not remember days, we remember moments. What are your memories with the first Toastmaster meetings?
I start. Ladies and gentlemen, do you remember days? Or do you remember weeks? Or even do you remember months? Do you remember years? Wow, I took it up one by one. We don't realize that we have passed a lot of days, lot of weeks, lot of years. Well, I skipped the month. Because yes, we knew the struggle. We knew every single we attend the meeting, we will always get back to commemorate our first Toastmasters meetings. Ladies and gentlemen, I still remember that I was invited by my friend in business. He said that, Elias, your English is so good. You are not Indonesian, you are British, you are American. What? I'm just having this Japanese accent. In Indonesia, we call it medok. I'm not very good in English, even though I'm in English department. But when I tried the table topic, wow, you know it, right? Wow, Elias, right? Who doesn't know Elias in table topic? Well, I screw up. I don't know what to do. What is table topic? Should I prepare a topic about table? Or should I get up into the table to give a topic? Or should I? Well, you can just remember all of that table topic matters for me. Well, that's also the reason that I joined Toastmasters. The very first table topic until today, right now. The last table topic I delivered every single day. I joined Toastmaster and day one and today and next day we'll keep always delivering table topics to commemorate my very first Toastmasters meeting. Back to you, Jasmine.
Thank you so much, Ilios. We can all relate to what you said. I'm pretty sure that all of us remember our first table topic. We were all shivering and we were all closing our videos in case we were on Zoom, thinking like, no, it's not us. And look at us today. Look at Ilios. He's the first one to volunteer. I'm going to be speaking first. So this is self-explanatory. Ilios, your journey has been wonderful. Thank you for sharing that experience, Ilios. I have Stephen, who is so much part of RSS that we just cannot have Stephen not speak on the anniversary of RSS. And Stephen, knowing you, I have a very specific question for you. You always join us from China, and we know it is very late when you join us, but I'm very thankful that you join us, and I have this question for you. Without a struggle, there can be no progress. How have you benefited from your Toastmasters journey so far?
You mean, do I have struggle or I struggled?
You have made a lot of progress, but what specific areas you think Toastmasters journey have contributed?
I think, okay, so this dates back to half a year ago. Yeah, it's already half a year. Maybe a little bit backwards, a couple of months. I was struggling in my previous company. It seems like I was not very visible whenever there's group meetings in our department. All my colleagues were speaking up in these meetings. Although I think from English perspective or from their performance, to be frank, I think it's not very good. I think it's so-so. But I was even worse because I didn't even speak up. I was hiding there, saying nothing, just listening. So which is pathetic. And that is the pinpoints, or that is the internal driver for me, like to, maybe I need to stand up. Actually, I can do better than lots of them. But I'm the one who is not visible to everybody. I was hiding away. So that's the motivation for me to join the Toastmaster. Then someday I found Toastmaster on YouTube. Then I started to join the meetings. I found like, wow, it feels so great, you know, to make so many friends from different places. You know, Yasmin from Dubai, Mary from Washington. Yeah, Tiger from Tennessee. Is this like Tennessee, right? Am I right? So this is wonderful place. I mean, thanks to Toastmaster. It's a great journey so far. And I enjoyed RSS a lot. This is why I always come back and hang out with you guys. It's a lot of fun and a lot of learning. Back to you, Toastmaster.
Thank you, Stephen. Thank you for sharing this journey with us. It gives us immense pleasure when you say that you learn and have fun with RSS. And you nailed it. That's why I gave this to you, that you are the person who would not fear from struggle, because you know that we make progress when we struggle. So thank you for sharing that. I have a very special guest amongst us, and I have a very specific question for him, given that I know he is a very seasoned Toastmaster and has always inspired me when I visit his club. And if you guys are guessing, perhaps you're guessing it right, it's Muammar who is here with us. And he's a motivational speaker and a coach. And Muammar, I know you have been in Toastmasters for a long time and have inspired many. So I would really like to put this question to you and learn from you. So my question to you, Muammar, is this. Goal is a dream. What goals have you set in your coming Toastmasters journey? What keeps you going in Toastmasters?
Goals and dreams. That's beautiful questions. You know, this is the goals and the dreams and the hopes. They say this is what will keep us going. And thank you, Yasmin, for this beautiful set of questions. Each question you ask is relating to us. So I think one of the things with Toastmaster, as you progress, you know, the satisfaction is not on the title you get, you know, the Distinguished Toastmaster, and which is amazing thing because it's validating the hard work you work on. But one of the best gifts you can give in Toastmaster and make you grow when you help other people around you. I've seen it even with you, Yasmin, when you volunteer that I know you have a club meeting and you're all empty. How can I help? You know, they say people forget what you do, but they will never forget how you make them feel. So those feelings stay with you forever. And that act of kindness inspire you to do even better and grow even more. You know, I remember when I joined Toastmaster, there was seasoned Toastmaster ahead of me. And they always, when they say, we need to share and grow together. So sharing is caring. But Toastmaster journey for me, it's amazing journey. And it benefits me in my personal life. Even the evaluation, if you take a simple thing as evaluation, we talk about the table topic. But now when I give evaluation to my wife, they always leave her with a smile. Just imagine how, you know, you give the evaluation, you know, the area of improvement and what is the challenge here you leave her with. So that's amazing. You learn a lot and you grow a lot and you come across wonderful and amazing people. Thank you very much. Back to you.
Thank you, Muammar. My takeaway message is, if you want to be accepted as evaluator by your wife, join Toastmasters. Thank you for that lovely message, Muammar. I have someone who I admire the most. She brings in so much positivity with her presence in the meetings. Her smile is something we are looking for to gain the courage to utter the next sentence. I think you all have guessed it with me. I'm talking about none other than Mary Pearson. Mary, I have to ask this to you. You know how much we love your smile. It is said, Mary, be the type of person you want to meet. But I want to know, who were you inspired with in your Toastmasters journey?
Thank you, Table Topics Master. I hope you can hear me okay. I'm not having very good reception from my phone.
We hear you well.
But it's very easy. Oh, good. It's very easy to come up with the name of the person who inspired me to join Toastmasters, and that was my boss. I had been an elementary school teacher for 2 years, and I left teaching and went to work for the government, working with computers. I had no problem speaking in front of a group of 10-year-olds, but getting in front of a room full of my peers, adults, I was scared to death, especially anybody that had a uniform on, because working for the Navy, they all were admirals to me. So I was so afraid even to get up to introduce myself and where I worked. So my department head was just an excellent speaker. And he was that type of speaker that could spin a story very quickly to get a message across. I could listen to him for hours. And he is the one that recommended Toastmasters to me. He was a member of Toastmasters. And so I told him, if they get me to speak like you, I'm joining today. Well, here it is, 30 some years later, I'm still in Toastmasters. I still don't speak like him, but I've developed my own style and definitely a lot more confidence in my speaking than I did all those years ago. So my old boss was my inspiration for Toastmasters. Thank you, Yasmin, for your kind words. Back to you to commemorate this special table topic session.
Wow. Thank you, Mary. I wish your boss is gonna be either looking at the video or, getting to know that you commemorated this, achievement of your Toastmaster journey to him. And I can bet that you are better than him. I can testify that even without meeting him. Okay, moving next, I have Michelle because I am in awe of Michelle. I remember when I joined Roseburg Speakers and Storytellers, I would look mesmerizingly when Michelle would speak, and I would always wonder, would I be able to learn from her? And here I am. Michelle, I have this question for you. The expert in anything was once a beginner. How did your Toastmaster journey begin?
Excellent question, Yasmin. Although the answer might not be what you or anyone expects, my Toastmasters journey started differently. I was repaying a debt of gratitude to a lady. We used to call her the lady with the hat. She still wears the hat, and I think Tiger may have met her. I'm not sure who else has. I will try and invite her here one of these days. Her name was Dinah Lunis. She had helped me tremendously on a different subject. I had financially and emotionally, I was ready to crash, and she stepped in and helped me. She wasn't even a good friend back then. Now she is. Back then, she was just a fellow trainer running her own separate business from mine. And when I said to her, Dinah, how do I repay you? She said, well, I want you to attend a Toastmasters meeting. And I said, no, I'm not interested in the place where people count us and they have this flashing lights like a stoplight. And no, I don't want to go. She said, well, just suspend your whatever reluctance you have, just go. And so I went to the club that she recommended. And the first thing that struck me, as Kevin mentioned, and this was a different club, but I think most Toastmasters club have that supportive, positive energy. I loved it. And the most important thing which struck me is they are evaluating people, and people are happy to be evaluated. They actually clap and they thank the person giving the feedback. Wow, where else do you get that, where people not only listen to the evaluation, but welcome it? And that was the grabbing point for me. So I joined. I've never, ever regretted joining Toastmasters. And today I commemorate that journey, which started in 1996. I joined Toastmasters in 1996. And it was because of the feedback that I had the opportunity to hear, and of course, the opportunity to offer to others. Back to you, Madam Table Topics Master.
Thank you so much, Michelle, for sharing that. I have to say, I did not know about it. I learned something new. And I am not surprised by the attitude of the person who introduced you to Toastmaster. And I must say that you lived her legacy so well. She would have been so proud. She saw it in you at then. So thank you for sharing that, Michelle. I have Marutesh amongst us, and I know Marutesh has been eagerly waiting for his turn. Wow, he's gonna switch on his video. Great, nice to see you, Marutesh. Welcome. I would like to know from you, how did your Toastmasters journey started? Would you like to share with us, Marutesh?
Yeah, thank you, Tabletop Master, for remembering such a wonderful memory of mine. Yeah, I come to know about this Toastmaster more than 5 years back, but I saw the videos of all speakers and I feel that I am inferiority complex. I thought I am not a fit for this Toastmasters. Hence, I used to go for always grammar class, English class, spoken class, and try to know new idea to improve my speaking English. Hence, during this COVID 2020 March, 1 month before, I attended a speaking class. There, the speaking skills workshop I attended. There, some people suggest me, you go and join any Toastmasters. They told me. That day, I thought to join, and that day only after next month, lockdown happened, all become online. Then I joined a club. There I started taking first timer role, accountant role. Like this, I started taking the roles, and I come to know about more of these Toastmasters. Then I joined more clubs, and I took all the volunteer role. I used to see which volunteer role is there vacant. I should take all this, whatever their volunteer roles, like tag team, Toastmasters, evaluation, general evaluation, contest speech, chief judge, every role I took. Next, I thought to move next level. Then I jumped for coach, sponsor, area director. Like this, my journey started. And within next year, definitely I will be a distinguished Toastmaster. Thank you.
Wow, loved your story, Marutesh. Loved it, as if God was signaling. It's the COVID time coming in. Marutesh, Toastmaster is waiting for you. And now we know we have a DTM in the making. So thank you for sharing that, Marutesh. Just loved it. Varun, are you here with us? Would you like to take up the next?
Yeah, you mean me?
I am here.
Yeah, Vera, I'll come to you next. I just checked with Varun. Varun?
Yes, I am here. Unfortunately, I will not be able to switch on my video right now.
Okay, that's fine, Varun. This one is for you. The best way to predict the future is to create it. How is Toastmaster helping you to create your future?
How many of you believe that whatever life gives, you take it and you make it? I see a few raised hands. Toastmaster has given me something which everyone craves for. A platform to make mistakes. Every time I attend a table topic session, or every time I attend a table topic, I do make mistakes. And that way, I can learn in the process without getting judged, without being able to answer, without being answerable to anyone. And the best of it, without thinking about anything. Let me share a small example. Few days back, I was taking a table topic session, and believe it or not, the same question was put forward to me. What in the future lies ahead? Where do you see yourself? I told them very clearly, I don't see myself anywhere in the near future because I don't have a vision. They asked me, why do you not have a vision? What's the problem? I said, I don't have any problem. I am like a butterfly. I like to go anywhere I want. I can be anything I want to do. That's it. And believe it or not, that question in that particular segment of table topics actually made me think, am I really a butterfly? Or am I just dreaming? Or am I a butterfly in the dream of a human? All these thoughts are always led by Toastmasters table topic session. So yes, if there is one thing which has taught me by the Toastmasters is that to dream. To dream, and no matter what happens, never look back. That's my take. Over to you, Yasmin.
Thank you so much, Varun. Toastmaster is the platform we all need, a platform to come and make mistake. Wow. This is something I'm going to keep with me always. Thank you for giving this for me. I hope you won't patent it. Lovely to hear from you, Varun. I know you are such a passionate Toastmaster. You love going to several club meetings, and I have so much learned from your Just to Learn. Thank you for sharing your experience, Varun. I had someone who had volunteered, Abdul Rahman. Are you here with us?
Hi, yes, I'm here.
Would you like to take the next one?
Yeah, definitely. I'll take it. Good.
Lovely. Nice to see you, Abdul. Where are you joining us from?
I'm joining from India.
Lovely. Okay, maybe I would also pose the same question to you, Abdul. The best way to predict the future is to create it. How do you see Toastmaster is helping you in creating your future?
Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening to everyone. Toastmasters' journey has been a phenomenal journey for me. One of my friends took me to a Toastmasters meeting one evening. It was not an online meeting, it was an offline meeting, pre-COVID. And I was just sitting around the table and enjoying the speeches, enjoying the table topics, and all of a sudden, from nowhere, my name gets called up. And I'm there. I just can't say no. So I went there shivering, my legs are trembling. But I was able to manage to speak for about a minute or so. And then, to my utter surprise, I was awarded the best speaker. Then I came to know later on, after I became a member of the club, that yes, since you're a new Toastmaster for the first time, you're a guest, so you're given this award just to motivate you to join the club. Anyway, that's how the learning journey started. And as I attended more and more meetings, I got to know, from all the people, the smiling faces, the encouragement, the motivation I received from every single member, as Varun rightly said, yes, this is a place where we can make mistakes and we can learn. This is how it helped me to actually make my decision in terms of how I should proceed further in my life. And that is how it taught me that, man, this is the time you should quit your job, which you have been in for a very long time, 25 years, and then you should do something on your own. This is one of the lessons which I learned from Toastmasters. And here I am as an entrepreneur running my small organization, and this is a work in progress. Thank you, and over to you, presiding officer.
Thank you, Abdul. Thank you for sharing that experience and giving us the courage that Toastmaster is actually much beyond than just public speaking. It's about leadership and knowing where our happiness lies and taking up the courage to get into what we want to do. Absolutely loved your experience, Abdul. Thank you for sharing it. I'm looking for a volunteer. I know we have many guests. And unfortunately, we have limited time. So I just look for a volunteer, anyone who wants to really come up and share the experience. If none, I'll pick up the last table topic speaker.
Akib.
Akib, you want to go next?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Akib, you are RSS family. We love you. But we want to know the silliest thing that you did in a Toastmaster meeting and what lesson you learned from there.
Silliest thing that I did in Toastmasters. Ladies and gentlemen, my first table topic was talking about beautiful moments of my life. I thought this is a very beautiful topic and I spoke on it for more than 1 minute. Overexcited. Now like, bro, I can do it. This is something which is very easy. And that was the first table topic. I was able to speak more than 1 minute. And people around the meeting, they were all like, you are wonderful. First meeting, we have never seen someone speaking so fluently and right on the time. I got overexcited. The next meeting, they asked me a table topic named Life is Beautiful. And I had no clue what to speak. I said, yes, life is beautiful. And then I was staring at the screen. The other guy is saying, yes, life is beautiful. And I was so embarrassed. I was like, bro, last topic was very easy. I could speak something. But here, life is beautiful. We all know it. But what to speak for more than 1 minute? I think that was the silliest thing I could do. Later in the meeting, General Evaluator came and he said, Akib, if you're not able to speak more than 1 minute, take any word, take sentence.
Oops.
Right?
Looks like Akib is frozen. Internet issue. Yeah, you're back, Akib. Continue.
Yes. So I was trying those tricks, but didn't work out. Then General Evaluator came and said, Akib, you have studied so much. Like, yeah, I have studied. So have you attempted a subjective exam? Like I'm pro at that. I was third topper at my college. Take your table topic as a subjective exam and you write whatever you want. Ladies and gentlemen, I was from a college wherein if you whisper 3 words, I will write 5 pages. That's the kind of talent I had. I used all those talent and started attempting table topic. I think that second table topic was the silliest mistake which I made. Over to you, Toastmaster Yasmin.
Thank you so much, Akib, for sharing us. We always knew your passion about beautiful women, and we were confident you can speak about it for 3 minutes. But now we are super confident that you know how life is beautiful, how beautiful is life, and you can speak about it for 3 minutes as well. Thank you for sharing that super journey. I am so excited that we have so many guests, and I do apologize that we are short of time and I might not be able to invite all of them. But having said that, I sincerely want to appreciate their presence and I welcome them next time. Hopefully we will have the chance to hear from them because we want to tell them that they are always welcome in RSS. And today especially is a very special day for us, given that it is our 17th anniversary. So RSS turned officially a teen today. So with this, I would like to mention about one of the members amongst us. I'm selective in picking one because he is special and he is none other than Stephen, who is playing our timer's role. Stephen, I just wanted to make a last comment to say we are so impressed with you. We know that you are new to Toastmasters. We know that you have difficulty in the language, but you have always challenged yourself and you are taking up roles so bravely. So you are an example of the spirit of Toastmasters, and you are an example of what RSS wants to achieve. Thank you. And with this, I would like to give it back to the Toastmaster of the day.
Thank you, Yasmin. It was a wonderful table topic session, wonderful experience listening to everybody's story and their personal experiences of how they've grown and experienced the Toastmaster experience overall. as I'm speaking right now, I'm kind of looking around my room here, and there's a lot of items and materials and things that kind of commemorate when we used to get together physically in a conference room in a building. We'd all get together. And this was about probably a little over almost 4 years ago. For instance, I've got the lectern here, I've got the gavel, I've got the guest book sign in, I've got the banner, I've got all these things that I used to keep in my truck because we used to hold our meetings at 8:30 in the morning, and I worked a graveyard shift. So when I got off at 8 o'clock, I'd drive over to the library, which was the venue that we had decided, the venue we were going to hold our meetings at. And I really enjoyed because we got together physically. And I played the president, the Toastmaster of the day, the sergeant of arms. I would set up everything, the flag. We had a flag here. And I just miss those days. And I'm hoping that someday we can actually relive that experience of all getting together in a conference room and experiencing the Toastmaster experience and speaking and just having a good time learning. Those were the fun times. And I think that was the last time we actually physically got together. And I think, Yasmin, you were also a member. You just became a member at the time. And I was turning everything over to Dawn because I was getting ready to leave for Africa for my deployment. So anyway, so moving on. So now for the final and most exciting component of the meeting, part of the structure is the evaluation component. And I would like to introduce to you Mary, our general evaluator. She's going to go ahead and take the helm, and she's going to tell us how we all did today. And she's also going to introduce the evaluator for the speaker of the day. So Mary, I'd like to go ahead and turn it over to you as general evaluator.
Thank you, Toastmaster Day. Once again, welcome, fellow Toastmasters, and especially our wonderful guests. It's so exciting to have so many guests. And if you didn't get an opportunity to speak at table topics, please come back. We love having you. It's great to have new faces. As part of my evaluation, I'd like a team. First, I have my formal evaluator, Michelle Albalin, who will be evaluating Deja's speech today. And before she starts the timing, what were the objectives of Deja's speech, Michelle? I don't think we had that listed. Did you have?
No, I'm sorry. I didn't see that either. And I went into our website and it does not have that. That is probably something that our VPE could make sure that we have in the future, because I went into the website and this is all that I could see. So that could be an opportunity for growth.
I haven't chosen the pathways yet, so I did not have any objectives.
Got it. Okay, well then this will be just a general evaluation about things that Deja did well and things that she could improve on. So once again, let me introduce our evaluator for Deja's speech, Michelle Alba Lim. Over to you, Michelle.
Thank you very much, Mary. And thank you, Deja. Man, I loved how you started your speech. In fact, I did not know yet that you had officially started your speech. You very intentionally held up your mug and very intentionally took a sip from it. And I was thinking, oh, she's about to speak and she's having a sip. And then I realized, oh, that was part of the speech because you were talking about coffee. I was half asleep or more when you started your speech, but you woke me up when you started talking about different ways that coffee is brewed. But even before that, the other aspect that I love is you ask us to raise our hands, but the question was in reverse. You said, raise your hand if you don't have a Starbucks in your country. And then you looked around and true enough, nobody raised their hands. That was a really beautiful way of phrasing the question because it got you started on your speech and confirmed that coffee or Starbucks, where you worked, is all over the world. It's probably
ubiquitous, maybe 160, 170 countries. I'm not sure, but definitely all of us, wherever we're from, have a Starbucks or have seen a Starbucks. I did not know, though, the 5 different ways. I would have loved to maybe have seen some kind of graphic or somehow showing us the different ways. That would have been great, especially for people who haven't had enough coffee yet in the morning. And I also liked that you shared with us, I think you gave how the coffee, how thick the coffee is, or how strong it is. I have some coffee from, where is this, Ecuador or Guatemala or someplace, when our last cruise. The next time you come and visit in person, we will grind this coffee and you help us do it in the way that, one of the ways that you shared. I enjoyed your speech so much. I love your voice. It has a certain clarity. It's melodic. It's just so pleasant to hear. I could listen to your voice much longer than the 3 minutes and 5 seconds or so that you spoke. So that is my one suggestion. Use your time, because you will normally have 5 to 7 minutes. I think you had 5 to 7 minutes for the speech. You could have given us so much more about coffee, about your love of coffee, and various, maybe developed it a little bit more and gave us a summary of the 5. See, I can remember 4. I can't remember the 5th one. You could have given us a summary and still have been within time. So that's my one suggestion for you. You are an excellent speaker. Use your time, make the most of it. Back to you, Madam General Evaluator.
Thank you, Michelle, for that very thorough and uplifting evaluation for Deja. There's suggestions that we all can take back. And reports from my evaluation team. In addition to the evaluator, we have the counter. Are you?
We are really good in terms of
as
counter.
The counter today. Would you please give your report?
Yes, ma'am. Today I am actually grammarian and accounter, but in that sense, I just want to say that Tiger was graciously accept the or split my job, so he will be the grammarian today. He is the our grammarian today. But I was counting our word of the day. So on the word of the day, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, we have commemoration mentioned 8 times by Kevin, Mary, Deja, Elias, and Michelle. Thank you for that. On the counter, I hear some people using and some they like to use the word "and" so many times. But what I want to say here is, when the filler word is not really disrupting the speech, I will not count that so much, and I don't really think that it's necessary to mention it, who's saying that. So in that, it means we are doing really good today. Now, Mary, can I just directly go to Tiger for the grammarian report?
That'd be fine, yes.
Thank
Yes,
you,
the
IU.
grammarian report from Tiger.
This is the fun part. I am going to repeat what got said by somebody. I would like for you guys to tell me who said it, because part of the Toastmaster experience is your listening skills.
So everybody has
so
to
go ahead and
unmute.
Unmute.
So you can
and
answer
here
the
we
questions.
go.
Everybody unmute for a second.
pressurized water is passed through the coffee grounds.
Deja.
Who said that?
Yeah.
We start
Deja.
with something easy, very easy. And trust me when I tell you, pressurized water was put through these coffee grounds, and an hour ago I was asleep, and now I'm awake. How about that? It made my time in Iraq so
Kevin.
much more enjoyable.
Kevin.
We don't remember days, we remember moments.
Yasmin.
Elios.
Oh, Elios.
What
Oh,
a great, I love that one. We don't remember days, we remember moments. Isn't that great? That's a wonderful thought. Do you, speaking of table topics, do I prepare a topic about tables?
Elios.
That's great. I'm putting that in one of my humor speeches. I love that. That was hilarious. I was hiding in the meetings, just listening. Who said that?
Stephen.
That was our buddy Stephen. And Stephen, I hope you're not hiding anymore because you have a lot to say. Sharing, caring. Sharing is caring.
Sharing. Who said-
Arun?
Wait. Oh, it was Muammar.
Yes,
Muammar,
thank
yeah.
you. My old boss was my inspiration for joining Toastmasters. Two
Mary.
people actually alluded to
Mary.
that.
Mary.
Yes, Mary's the one that said that. People are
Do?
happy to be evaluated. Who said that? I used it. People are actually happy to be evaluated. That was
Michelle.
And
And I had no clue what to say. How many of you have ever
Okay.
felt that way at tabletop? I had no clue what to say.
Okay.
Yeah, that was a key, and I'm going to end with that one because I have no clue what to say now. Back to you, General Evaluator.
Just a moment, I want to shout out to Farah and Jolene Lim. Hi, girls. Welcome to RSS. And back to you, Madam General Evaluator.
Oh, okay. Thank you, Tiger and Ayu, for your teaming effort to provide the grammarian word of the day and counting reports. And lastly, I'd like to call upon our timer. Is it Stephen or Steppen? I wasn't sure how you pronounce that. Could you give
Yeah,
us your timer report?
Oh yeah, okay, no problem. So let me share my screen for my report, okay? So this is my report for today, okay? So basically the only one lady, Teja, yeah, is green. So he give the prepared speech is within the time frame, within the 3 minutes, and the majority of the people are in red shapes, as you can see, yeah, to longer than the time frame we set. Okay, so that's overall report from myself. Thank you.
That is an outstanding timers report. Very visual, not only gives the time, but actually lets us see very visually that we need to work on our time for table topics to keep it 1 to 2 minutes. Excellent job. Thank you so much for your timing report, Stephen. Well done.
Yeah,
Now to give my general evaluation of the meeting. We started on time. It looks like we'll be ending on time. All the roles were filled, though some of them had to have some last minute fill-ins. So I asked all of our members and guests to try to get to the meeting 15 minutes before, so we can ensure that we have a full agenda prior to the start. And sometimes people that had roles, we make sure that they are going to be there. But it was, as always at the RSS, a delightful meeting with so much diversity through this meeting. I just absolutely am inspired every time I attend these meetings. Most of you have English as your second language, and I can't tell you how inspiring it is to have you on these meetings. I'm trying to learn Spanish, and I have such, I'm so afraid to even talk a couple sentences so that you all talk for minutes at a time. It just encourages me that one day I can get on and speak a second language as well as you all do. Some suggestions that we, besides getting on a little bit early, we had a lot of guests today, and there were many opportunities for people that didn't have a role to speak. I know Raku was there, Kunang, and we were asked, the table topics questions were asked of people that had roles already. So just as a suggestion, we want to make sure that we try to give everyone an opportunity to speak. But I know that's hard to sometimes do when you have so many guests. So that's just my encouraging thing in the future, that we try to choose people that didn't have a role. But other than that, excellent meeting. And Yasmin, you do such an excellent job. And that was some very thought-provoking questions. A perfect way to commemorate 17 years of an outstanding club. So my general evaluation is keep doing what we're doing. It's a hallmark of a great Toastmaster meeting. So all of you that came as a guest, you were treated to an excellent meeting with all the various parts of what a good Toastmaster meeting is. That concludes my general evaluation. I'll turn it back to our Toastmaster of the day to close us out. Thank you all again for participating. Have a wonderful day.
Thank you very much, Mary and Madam General Evaluator. Now that after Deja's speech on coffee, I've just been thinking about nothing but coffee. And I remember a time when I was trying to think of I was the president of the RSS when it was still Roseburg Communicators. And I was trying to think of a good strategy for retention and recruitment. And I was thinking coffee and cookies in every meeting, coffee and cookies. And it's just, you know, I didn't really work, but you know, that was just one of the ideas that I had, you know, because I think that coffee is really kind of it plays a large part of our life, especially in our busy schedule. It's like a routine. We always drink it. You know, I drink it twice a day at work. You know, it's kind of an interesting thing too. The Army actually spends more money on coffee than anything else. It spends more money on coffee than weaponry, ammunition, equipment, food. It's like we had that war in Iraq and Afghanistan. I think it was $500 billion spent on that war. I wonder how much was spent on coffee alone. But yeah, I love coffee. Anyways, that was we've had a fun meeting. Everybody had a good time, and I'd like to go ahead and turn things back to our president, Yasmin. Yasmin, take it over. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Kevin. I want to just say thank you to everyone who is here, because without you, this meeting would not have happened. We would not have had fun. And Kevin, you are so dear to all of us. It's such a delight to have you. We know that because of your busy schedule, you're not always available, but it was an honor that you could make yourself available and be the Toastmaster of the day for our 17th anniversary. We still have 1 minute, and I am gonna be just using the time and opportunity to know if Vera would like to share her experience with us in 30 seconds. I know she hasn't had any chance to speak today, but Vera, if you are with us, would you like to quickly in 30 seconds share your experience of being with us today for the first time?
Okay, so this is my first time to join in the Toastmaster meeting, and thank you for the invitation by Tiger. And actually, I have no idea about this club, so this is the first time I get to know. For me, I just want to. I come from China, but I live in England. So I just want to improve my oral speaking and also my public speaking ability. Actually, yeah, that's everything for me today. It's very simple, easy, and and that's everything.
Thank you, Vera. Love to hear from you. We have so many friends from China, and one of the beauty of our club is its diversity. We are people
Yeah.
from all over the world, and we just love it. And that is our USP. So thank you. And everyone here in the meeting, please feel free to join us every week. We meet every week, every Monday, same time, using the same link. And with this, I'm just going to officially close the meeting, but we can stay around and continue chit-chatting. So let me officially adjourn the meeting for today.